Welcome back, class 12, to the online bio classes. We had already started chapter 6, Human Health and Disease. And in this chapter, we had already started with the definition in the interactive classes. Definition of disease. Disease is a departure from normal health. And it can be caused due to malfunctioning of any organs of our body like the heart failure, kidney failure, or due to improper diet, that is a diet or a food which is deficient in certain nutrients, that is not balanced diet. Or it can be caused due to old age also, when different organs, they will not work properly, they will not work to their full capacity. That is called degenerative disease, which like the loss of eyesight or the vision power is decreased when we grow old. Similarly, the loss of hearing means not complete, partial hearing loss may be there along with the advancement of age. Similarly, pain in the joints, that will be caused, that is arthritis and all. Apart from that, many bacterial disease, viral disease caused by other organisms, microorganisms, that we have to study, which is there in the syllabus. First, we have done about the viral disease, that is common cold, chikungunya and dengue was already discussed in the interactive classes. And today, in the bacterial disease, we will study one, that is pneumonia. Diphtheria and plague is not mentioned here. So pneumonia. Pneumonia is an acute infection of our lungs. Even the newly born babies also suffer from pneumonia. The alveolar sac, which is filled with fluid and dead white blood cells, reduces the amount of air which is present in our lungs. So most common cause of pneumonia is a bacterium which is called Streptococcus pneumonia. So what is the causative organism of pneumonia? Pneumonia is caused by a bacterium called Streptococcus. S, I am writing S means Streptococcus. Streptococcus. Okay, Streptococcus pneumoniae. The spelling you can check: Pneumonae. Pneumonia. This is the name of the bacteria which causes pneumonia disease. Okay, but other bacteria like Haemophilus influenza, protozoans or viruses may also cause the pneumonia disease. So those who are most susceptible to disease, like the people who can get this infection, are elderly, that is the people who are over 50-60 years of age, infants, that is the babies, immunocompromised individuals like persons who are suffering some immunity disease, like whose immunity system has been compromised. Compromised means it is decreased a lot, like this. It happens in case of AIDS or malignancy, or those who are taking immunosuppressive drugs. Immunosuppressive drugs are the medicines which are taken after the organ transplantation, because our organs are okay, it's normal with us, they work properly, but when a person is given an organ transplant like kidney transplant or liver transplant, so whenever the new organs are transplanted in the patient, his body will not accept the foreign organs and it will develop certain immunity disease, or the antibodies will develop to, in order to control those, we take the medicines. Those patients are advised to take the medicines to suppress their own immunity, that is called immunosuppressive drugs. Cigarette smokers and person who have obstructive lung disease, like those who are already a patient of lungs, they are the most susceptible to pneumonia disease. Now, what are the symptoms of the disease pneumonia? What symptoms or what sign is shown in it? Number one, a person has persistent dry cough, means always coughing, dry cough is there. Number two, high fever with a very fast rate of breathing, chest pain on one side that is increased by coughing or breathing. Spit may contain reddish streaks of blood. So whenever such patient of pneumonia will throw the spit, then his spit will contain some amount of blood in it. Headache will be there and chills, that is feeling of cold. So in severe cases, the lips and the fingernails, they will turn grey or bluish in color. Now, what is the way by which this disease is spread? It can spread from a healthy sick person to a healthy person once he will inhale the droplets which is thrown by, like while coughing, the sick patient of pneumonia will throw the cough, so all the droplets will be sprayed in the air, and if a healthy person will inhale that air containing contaminated bacteria, he can also get. So that is called droplet or aerosols, which is released by infected person, or by sharing of utensils, that is the one in which we take our food. If the same spoon, same that cutleries are used by the sick person also and by the healthy person also, it can be transmitted. Now, what is the prevention or treatment of pneumonia disease? Number one, rest in bed, that is complete bed rest, and plenty of liquid food to eat, that is liquid food to drink. Number two, a medicine which is antibiotic in nature that can kill the other bacteria, and arrange for close follow-up with the X-ray of chest and body checkup, so that particularly the lungs checkup will be there. In children and elderly, careful treatment is required, means the treatment must be done by some experts, even for minor coughs and colds, because it can help to prevent the recurrence. Recurrence means again and again if it occurs, that can be cured. Okay. So 2 more diseases are there that we'll discuss in that interactive classes. It's not mentioned in the syllabus, but it's given in the book, that is pneumonia, diphtheria and plague. So plague, I will just give a little bit hint. Plague is a disease which is caused by the bacteria, but transmission of this disease occurs through the rats, and nowadays it is not prevalent, but in earlier times many people used to lose their lives due to plague, and the entire villages, the people of the village, towns, they used to vacate their homes due to the spread of plague disease. It is also called Black Death, okay, in which the disease spread very fast, but nowadays it is under control, and the occurrence of plague is very minorly. It is not reported at all. Okay. Now next one, that is the protozoal disease, in which you have to study only one, malaria. So I will go to that malaria portion now. What is malaria? You know, the word malaria, M-A-L-A-R-I-A, malaria, mal air. Mal air means from the bad air. It is thought the meaning of this word is mal air. Protozoans. It is a disease caused by protozoan. Protozoan disease. Protozoa is a living organism. So protozoans are a smallest type of animals. They have unicellular. Their body is made up of single cell, and many diseases which are caused by them. One only we have to study, that is malaria. Of all the contagious diseases, malaria is the most destructive for man. Earlier it was said that it is caused by foul gases or the bad gases which comes from the marshy areas, and that is why the disease was called mal air, means bad air, foul smell, air coming from the marshy areas. Later on, Ronald Ross observed the disease is transmitted by mosquito bite in 1877. So Ronald Ross, R-U-S-S, name of the scientist who is associated with it. Ronald Ross, R-O-S-S, in the year 1877. He was the first to say that this disease is transmitted by mosquito bite. And later on, Alphonse Leveran discovered the acute causative agent of malaria. So Leveran was another scientist who discovered that what is the agent which causes malaria. Means he had discovered the protozoan, that is Plasmodium, the one which causes malaria in human beings. Okay. Now it is well known the disease is caused by protozoan, and the name of that protozoan is Plasmodium. Plasmodium. So what is Plasmodium? It is a protozoan. So malaria is caused by Plasmodium species. There are 4 types of malaria. In the syllabus, the types of malaria is given or not? Okay. Disease malaria. Graphic outline of the life cycle of Plasmodium. Graphic outline is also required. So 4 types of malaria are benign malaria, B-E-N-I-G-N, benign, tertian malaria, benign, tertian, malignant, quartan, and the 4th one is oval. They are caused by different species of Plasmodium, like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium ovale respectively. So different species of Plasmodium causes the different types of malarial diseases. Okay. Okay, next one we have to study is what are the symptoms of the disease malaria. Number one, high fever in benign tertian and ovale tertian. Outbreak of fever, you know that whenever a person is suffering from malaria, he show very high fever with chills, like feeling cold also. And fever occurs every other day, like in one day, today fever, tomorrow no fever, again day after tomorrow fever will be there. Every third day, important every third day it occurs. In malignant, fever is irregular, occurring daily. So all the four different types of malaria show different way of occurrence of fever. Like sometimes after one day, sometimes after 2 days. In some of the, like the last one we studied, in malignant, the fever is irregular, it can occur anytime. Then second symptoms is headache and nausea, that is feeling of sickness, muscle pains and bouts of fever with shivering attacks. Shivering means chilling attacks. So shivering attacks usually do not occur in malignant and tertian malaria. Now what is the prevention of the disease? How can we get cured if we are suffering from malaria? It is said the bark of a tree called cinchona, it helps to provide a medicine called quinine, which helps to prevent us from disease. So prevention of infection can be done by the use of mosquito repellent creams, mosquito nets and Odomus and so many other brands are available in the market like Mortein and all. We can use the mosquito repellent creams on our body surface which is exposed. We can also put the wire netting on the doors and windows so that mosquitoes will not get entry inside our home. Keep the patient warm, and the use of drugs like quinine to control the vector, and we should control the vector also, that is the mosquito. The breeding place of mosquitoes should be destroyed. We should not allow the water to be stagnant near our homes because it can be a source of breeding of mosquitoes which will result in not only malaria, other diseases also like dengue, chikungunya and all. Then keep the patient warm, bed rest and intake of plenty of fluid is recommended. Use of anti-malarial drugs means those medicines which are used to cure malaria, like number one, it is chloroquine, methotrexate and trimaquine. So these are the name of the medicines which are suggested or given for malarial patients. RTS or AS01 is the first vaccination. The name of the vaccine which is developed against malaria is RTS. RTS S/AS01. This is the name of the malarial vaccine which is developed. Now next we have to study after malaria. The graphic outline life cycle is also there, which I have already given I think to someone in the group, but still I will share with all of you that graphic outline life cycle, you can do it. Now the next disease which is there is the fungal disease, that is ringworm, and then the cancer. Okay, so let's see where is that ringworm, the fungal disease. Ringworm, most of us suffer from the ringworm in some time of what is the disease and how it is caused. Okay, ringworm. It is a disease which is caused by a fungus, and it is caused by many fungi which belongs to the group or the phylum Microsporum, Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. They are medically called as tinea. Although no worm is involved, the name ringworm is somewhat misleading because worms are not involved in causing the disease ringworm. It is caused by a fungus. So it can occur in any part of our body, and it causes or develops a round or circular patch on our skin, and it is itching also. The symptoms are it is quite itching, reddish in color, and it can extend from one part of the body. A ring is formed because the infection spreads and the patches extend to other parts while their center revert to a normal skin appearance. It can affect any part of the body, and the fungus lives on the dead, outer layer of the skin. But the sites which are commonly affected by ringworm, like those places in which we get ringworm infection very easily, are those areas which remains moist or where plenty of the sweat release is there, like under armpits, in the groins, and it happens in the beneath the breast and the feet. Ringworms are generally found in between the fingers also and the toes, okay, because they remain wet. So we must keep them dry. So ringworms are generally acquired from the soil or by using or sharing the same towels which is used by other patients, or clothes, or the combs which are used by infected people. So that's why we must not share the combs, towels and other personal hygiene should be maintained. We should never share our article even with our brothers and sisters, because it can prevent the spread of skin diseases. And next one is, the disease in different areas of the body is named differently. That is not required. Now next is, how can you prevent the disease? We can prevent ringworm infection by keeping ourselves or following the personal hygiene, by not sharing our articles with others like towels and all. And if we are suffering from the disease, we can apply the medicines which are coming in the form of ointments that can be applied on the skin where the ringworm infection has occurred. Okay. Now next one we have to do is the cancer and the types of tumors. Okay, what is cancer? Cancer, you know, is the most dreaded disease of human beings, and it is a major cause of death all over the world. And although the medicine for cancer is there, if detected in the early stage of cancer, it can be cured. But sometimes it is said cancer can be cured, but money can kill. It means the treatment line of cancer is very costly. Chemotherapy is given, which is very costly. One injection may cost 40,000, 50,000 or more than that, as I have heard. So what is the reality? You may be knowing that there are many what is the meaning of cancer first? Normally all the body cells will grow, they will divide. But when there is uncontrolled division of body cells, it will lead to the formation of a tumor or a mass of cells that is called cancerous tumor. And it can occur in any part of the body. Means cancers can develop starting from the mouth, oral cancer, if we use different types of tobacco and tobacco products. In the cancer can develop in the food pipe, it can develop in the stomach, it can develop in the intestine, it can be in any parts, even in the bone also, even in the blood also, blood cancer, bone cancer. We have heard about so many different types of cancers are there. So cancer cells appear to have lost the property of controlling their cell division. The body becomes uncontrolled division of cells is there, and they divide rapidly away from the normal cells. And what are the different types of, what is the meaning of metastasis? Metastasis means excess growth in the body cells, and settling process is called metastasis, means transference of disease from primary to a secondary part of the body, and the colonies are called metastasis. So how many types of cancers are there? Tumors are of two types, benign and malignant. Benign tumors normally remain confined, that is fixed to original location and do not spread. So the type of tumor which remains fixed at one place is benign, and the other one is malignant tumors. They are a mass of cells called neoplastic or tumor cells. They grow very fast and they invade and damage the surrounding normal tissues. So 4 different types of cancers are there. More than 200 distinct types of cancers have been recognized. 200. And this can be grouped into 4 main types: carcinomas, sarcomas, lymphomas, and leukemias. So first one is carcinomas. They are tumors made of epithelial cells, that is ectodermal or endodermal origin, that cover our body organs. 85% of cancers are carcinomas. Example of carcinoma cancers are the breast cancer, lung cancer, cancer of pancreas, stomach. Then comes sarcomas. Sarcomas are tumors made of connective tissue cells which are of mesodermal origin, and they make only 2% of the human cancers. So very less amount of cancers is the sarcomas one. Then the lymphomas. Lymphomas cancers are the one in which there is excessive production of lymphocytes by the lymph nodes and spleen, and they make 5% of the human cancers. Like Hodgkin's disease is an example of lymphoma. Then last one is leukemias. They result from unchecked proliferation, that is breaking of cells present in the blood, and they are produced inside the bone marrow. So they make or constitute 4% of the human cancers. So what is the cause of cancer? Cancer is a contagious disease, means communicable. It is not a contagious disease, so it cannot spread from a sick person to a healthy person. And agents which cause cancer, they are called carcinogens. Like cancers are caused due to harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun also. Cancers are also caused due to certain food items which are cancer causing, so we must avoid eating those food items which are cancerogenic or in nature, which can produce the cancerous cells. Even the harmful X-rays and the DNAs, sometimes the genetic effect is also there which can cause cancer. So cancer is also caused by irritation of tissues. Okay, so gene of a cancer causing virus responsible for transformation is called oncogene. So what is oncogene? The genes which are responsible for the formation of cancer cells. Transformation of normal cell into a cancerous cell is due to integration of viral genes into the chromosomes of the host cells. Okay. Now what are the symptoms of the disease? The symptoms of cancer are, it depends on the site of infection as well as the severity also. Like cancer produces local symptoms, it can become large or interfere with the work of an organ. Like I will say some of the symptoms. The symptoms are persistent cough, indigestion, constipation or diarrhea, abdominal pain, difficulty in urinating, blood discharge in the feces or urine if bowel or bladder cancer has grown large enough. In some cases, if cancer is there on the skin, breast or other organs, it may be felt like a lump which may later become ulcerate. Okay. So in the later stages of cancer, means when the cancer stage is fully developed, there is loss of appetite, means not feeling hungry, loss of weight and tiredness. There is also pain, jaundice, extreme changes in mood, mental attitude and epileptic fit. Now what is the detection of cancer and diagnosis? Early detection of cancer will help to cure the disease by successfully treating it. Cancer detection is based on biopsy and histopathological studies of tissue and blood and bone marrow test for cell counts. So techniques like radiography, that is use of X-rays, CT scan, MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaging, are very useful to detect cancer of internal organs. Antibodies against the cancers are also used for detection of certain types of cancers. Then techniques of molecular biology are also used to find the genes in individuals which are inherited to certain cancers. Now what is the prevention or treatment for cancer? The different methods of treatment of cancer is: number one, surgical removal. It involves cutting off the outgrowth or the growth of primary site from where the cancer cells are produced, together with any adjacent tissues and lymph glands to which the growth can spread. This is possible with breast cancer, bowel, lungs cancer, kidney cancer, testes, womb, ovaries, bones and skin. But it cannot be done with the brain cancer. You cannot remove the brain away from the body because that will result in the death of individual. Number two, radiotherapy, in which X-ray and other form of radioactivity are used to destroy the cancer cells. Then chemotherapy, in which certain drugs, that is medicines, which kill the cancer cells without damaging the normal cells can be given. They are called cytotoxics. Excess dose can destroy the normal cells and kill the patient. So it is somewhat risky also to undergo chemotherapy, because if a person is not physically fit, he may die because of that only, because of the effect of chemotherapy. Okay. Then next one is immunotherapy. Since the tumor cells affect the immune system of the body, so patients are given biological response modifiers like alpha interferon, which activate our immune system to help in destroying the tumor. And the other treatments are like naturopathy, in which we use like Ayurvedic medicines to cure the patient, and faith healing. People sometimes turn to fringe medicines when all other hopes are lost, like when they go to many specialist doctors and then also they are not getting any type of relief. Then they go to some people whom they have heard from, like if you go to that particular person, he will give you such medicine. Without any medicine, your cancer will be cured. So what to do? In order to save their life, they run towards that also. So people sometimes go to that. Despite reports of miracle cures, miracle means sometimes it is reported that this particular person, this particular Baba and all, giving cancer treatment. It may happen that miracle can do take place, but it cannot repeat in all cases. It's not guaranteed that always the treatment will be successful. Their success has not been proved by scientists, so we cannot 100% depend on them for our treatment. Okay, so today up to this much only. Now next we have to study is the immunity, the next portion of this chapter. In the next class we can do it. Okay, so what you can do as homework is you can read the chapter and write the name of all the different types of diseases like common cold, dengue, chikungunya, pneumonia, malaria, ringworm, and their control. And after that, we'll start with the basic concepts of immunology, the next topic. Thank you.